Hey, Smith Show. Before I get on out of here, I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirect, it involves Caitlin.
Everything we thought we knew about the hierarchy of professional sports is about to be completely rewritten. For months, the narrative has centered on the disrespect, the brutal fouls, and the petty jealousy aimed directly at Caitlin Clark. But while WNBA veterans were busy trying to haze the rookie, the biggest bank account in the world was quietly watching. We aren't talking about a shoe deal. We aren't talking about a max contract extension. We're talking about a rumored $1 billion disruption, one that Stephen A. Smith recently validated live on air. These rumors are no longer whispers hidden in dark corners of the internet. Reports have surfaced suggesting that the Saudi Public Investment Fund is preparing a hostile takeover of women's basketball, and they have already pinpointed their two primary targets, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. This is a move designed to pair the greatest shooter of a generation with one of the most marketable stars in the league, creating a breakaway force the WNBA simply cannot afford to fight. Stephen A. Smith issued a clear warning to the league. If they didn't protect their golden goose, someone else would swoop in and buy the entire farm. And it appears the check has already cleared. To understand why this billion-dollar rumor is striking fear into the WNBA front office, you have to consider the messenger. Stephen A. Smith has been the loudest voice calling out the mishandling of Caitlin Clark. While other analysts try to play nice, pretending that the hard fouls and mean girl energy were just competitive spirit, SAS called it exactly what it was: jealousy. He went on national television and made it clear that the WNBA was squandering the single greatest gift it had ever received. He highlighted the absurdity of Clark flying commercial, taking brutal shoulder checks from Kennedy Carter, and being left off the Olympic team. Smith's commentary has now escalated from criticism to a dire prediction. He confirmed that the market always corrects itself, emphasizing that you cannot keep a superstar suppressed in a system that pays her $76,000 a year when her actual market value is in the hundreds of millions. Smith pointed out that the old guard of the WNBA thought they could bully Clark into submission, forcing her to wait her turn. But they ignored a critical fact. We live in an era where player leverage rules. Smith's validation of these outside investment rumors proves one thing: loyalty ends where disrespect begins. He is essentially saying, "I told you so." The league treated her like an enemy, and now she might just become their competition. Let's examine the numbers, because this is where the loyalty argument collapses entirely. The WNBA has a strict salary cap. As a rookie, Caitlin Clark signed a 4-year deal worth roughly $338,000, about $76,000 for her first year. For context, NBA benchwarmers make that amount every single week. The league has always argued, "We don't have the revenue," claiming losses for 27 years. But here's the catch. Caitlin Clark solved that problem in just 3 months. Since her draft, attendance is up, jersey sales are through the roof, and TV ratings have shattered decades-old records. She is generating millions for the league, yet her salary barely covers rent in a major city. This is where the Saudi rumor becomes impossible to ignore. The Saudi Public Investment Fund deals in billions, not thousands. When they look at an asset like Clark, they don't see a rookie paying her dues. They see a global icon undervalued by 99%. If rumors of a $1 billion investment in a new league or tournament structure are accurate, the offer to Clark isn't just a salary, it's an empire. This could be an upfront payment dwarfing the career earnings of every other WNBA player combined. When you compare that to the WNBA's $76,000 offer, the decision becomes obvious. But this isn't only about one player getting rich. It's a calculated geopolitical move. We've seen this exact playbook before, and it reshaped sports forever. Remember LIV Golf? The PGA Tour had controlled players, money, and schedule for decades. Then the Saudis entered the scene, not to collaborate, but to buy the players, offering hundreds of millions to stars like Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson just to show up. Critics called it sports washing. They said the players were greedy. But the players accepted the money, and the PGA Tour eventually had to merge with them. Insiders now believe the same strategy is targeting women's basketball. The WNBA is vulnerable. Players are underpaid, travel conditions poor, and the stars unhappy. Targeting Caitlin Clark is effectively targeting the engine of the entire sport. Without her, the WNBA slips back into obscurity. With her, this new Saudi league becomes the epicenter of the basketball world overnight. However, no league can survive on one player alone. You need rivalries, supporting cast, and marketability. This is where Sophie Cunningham enters the equation. Why her, and not Aya Wilson or Breanna Stewart? The answer is blunt: marketability and demographics. Cunningham has built a massive following thanks to her gritty play and brand identity. She is recognizable, savvy on social media, and has the it factor advertisers crave. The cameras consistently find her on the sidelines for a reason. Speculation suggests this new league aims to assemble a dream team of marketable stars appealing to a global audience. A Clark-Cunningham duo covers all bases. Generational talent meets a charismatic, tough, fan-favorite enforcer. Together, they are the perfect faces to launch a new franchise. Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly underscored this marketing machine. Sports is business, and you need stars who sell tickets. Clark and Cunningham sell tickets. Now, let's consider why Clark might leave the league she once dreamed of. If the WNBA had embraced her from day one, a $1 billion offer might be easier to ignore. But it didn't. From the moment she stepped on the court, it was open season. Diana Taurasi warned Clark on ESPN during the final for that reality was coming, a warning filled with bitter undertones, a clear signal that the old guard felt threatened by new blood. Then came the games. Clark relentlessly pressured full court, hammered in the paint, and repeatedly knocked to the floor while referees swallowed their whistles. The infamous Kennedy Carter hip check wasn't just a play, it was a message. Stephen A. Smith exploded on air, questioning where her teammates were and why the league wasn't protecting its star. The story became clear. WNBA veterans weren't passing the torch. They wanted to snuff it out. This hostile environment makes an exit strategy extremely appealing. Why remain in a workplace where coworkers resent your success when you could move somewhere you're treated like royalty and make 50 times the money? This isn't the first attempt to lure Clark away. Remember the big three? Ice Cube offered her $5 million for just 8 games, more than her entire WNBA rookie deal. At the time, she declined, committed to proving herself in the league and chasing championships. But that was before the hazing, the relentless media circus, and the lack of protection. Now, the landscape has changed. The Saudi offer reportedly dwarfs Ice Cube's proposal. The key difference? Infrastructure. This isn't a side hustle, it's a full league replacement. Fewer games, luxury travel, no salary cap. Every complaint addressed. Ice Cube showed market potential. The Saudis have the capital to make it permanent. From the office of WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelberg, if these reports are accurate, she's staring down a catastrophe. The WNBA is negotiating a new media rights deal worth billions from Disney, Amazon, and NBC. Their pitch relies entirely on the Caitlin Clark effect. But if Clark moves to a rival league, that leverage disappears. The networks aren't paying for the WNBA, they're paying for Clark. Without her, the TV deal collapses. Without the deal, revenue sharing for the veterans who hazed her disappears. The irony is staggering. By alienating the league's revenue driver, the veterans may have jeopardized their own paychecks. Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly hinted at this karma. You don't bite the hand that feeds you and expect to keep eating. The moral dilemma surrounding the Saudi Public Investment Fund is inevitable. Critics will scream about human rights, sports washing, and ethical concerns. But as Smith often reminds, morality doesn't pay the mortgage. NBA players have taken millions from China without consequence. Golfers accepted Saudi money, and the outrage faded. For female athletes, the stakes are even higher, given their financial scarcity. Can we truly judge a WNBA player for taking $10 million when her current employer values her at $76,000? Fans may debate online, but history shows they follow the talent. Clark and Cunningham could play basketball on the moon, and people would tune in. Outrage is temporary. Generational wealth is permanent. The Sophie Cunningham connection signals the new league would likely adopt a tour model, similar to tennis or golf, rather than traditional city-based teams. Imagine Clark, Cunningham, and other stars traveling to major cities: London, Tokyo, Dubai, New York, competing in high-stakes exhibitions or tournaments. This eliminates boring, low-viewership regular season games, focusing instead on spectacle. Sophie secures the social angle. Her chemistry with Clark is marketable. They represent a new generation of unapologetic, stylish, and skilled hoopers. This breakaway model threatens the WNBA by siphoning casual fans. Diehards may stay, but millions drawn in by Clark will follow her. If Clark and Cunningham align under a Saudi-backed banner, the WNBA risks becoming a developmental league for the real show. Rumor credibility is bolstered by silence. No denials from Clark, Cunningham, or their agents. In sports, silence usually confirms ongoing negotiations. They can't announce until details are finalized. Meanwhile, the grueling WNBA season, travel, and physical toll only increase the allure of a private jet and billion-dollar backing. The silence suggests players are realizing they hold the leverage. Where does this leave us? We are on the edge of the largest shift in women's sports history. Stephen A. Smith has made it clear. The WNBA had a chance to embrace the future but let jealousy and mismanagement create a divide between the league and its savior. The rumored $1 billion Saudi deal, featuring Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, isn't merely a payday, it's a revolution. It sends a message. If traditional systems won't pay women what they deserve, someone else will. The Sophie and Caitlin era may not unfold in WNBA jerseys. If so, the WNBA has only itself to blame. The question is no longer if she leaves, it's when. And when the press conference finally reveals the dollar amount, the sports world will never be the same. Would you watch a breakaway league featuring Clark and Cunningham, or remain loyal to the WNBA? The answer to that question may well decide the future of professional women's basketball.